Hello everyone, so let's do an in-depth analysis of the hero's path. It has arrived recently, so what to do. So we have theorized on this on the stream and we were right. It is an emulation of champion chase, sorry, not champion chase, why did I say champion chase? It's an emulation of summon rush plus dungeon divers. The points are standardized recently in this kind of event, with the exception of primal shards giving 50% additional value. So I think this might be an attempt to, draw some primal shards away from us players, because 2x might be cooking. It's been around 4 months, a little over 4 months actually. I think since we last had 2x on primal shards, I think it's quite due. And I'm not gonna lie, they are tempting to open. So normally they would be worth 40% of a sacred shard's value, and now they are worth 60% of a sacred shard's value. And guys, if you go by the values, the prices that the game sells us those, I mean, that is very favorable, right? I mean, a sacred shard is like $15 in the game's eyes, at least. Sometimes it goes even 20. And primal shards are about 5, so you pay 1/3 of the price and you get 60% of the value, right? Almost doubled, right? The amount of points you get per dollar. So that's an option. And this dungeon divers is approximately equal to double value dungeon divers. So if you are doing a stage 10 hard dungeon, you would be getting approximately 1.36 points per energy. So guys, if you want to go for the grand prize, that is the 5-star Skorid soul, and this time around we have no split souls, nothing, right? It's just a 5-star Skorid soul, hit it or miss it. So the amount of points that's required to grab the Skorid soul by spending the minimum amount of points is, I think, very close to 90,000. Let's go over it. 800 here. That's 3,000, 3,800, 6,800, and 7,800. The key is needed. That's why we go here. 7,800, 8,800, right? 15,300, 24,300, 36,800, and 86,800, right? If I didn't make a mistake. No, I did make a mistake somewhere. I think it's more like 800, 3,000, 9,000, 10,800, 11,800, 11,800. I made a mistake of 3,000 somewhere. Why did I do it? Okay, so then 89,800 or something, right? So let's just say, guys, 90k, right? It is very close to 90k. So it's 20 sacred shards worth, right? And in order to get 1 sacred shards points of worth, you have to around 3,500 energy in a stage 10 hard dungeon, right? That's what we need. Yeah. That's a little bit pessimistic, maybe 3,400, but it's a serious amount of energy you have to spend in a hard 10 dungeon. And right now we have the Tellerian League only Dragon tournament active. I have actually posted 2 solo champions, one real solo and one pseudo solo champion for that. I think it's wonderful. You do hard 10 and you do it with food, and you also conform with the obey the conditions of the tournament, right? I think it's very nice, but of course they are very gear dependent. You can check out the videos. We have a Kuronam pseudo solo, Kuronam Jamarsa, and status solo, or of course you could cook something up yourself. So thing is, this is about 9,000 points, so this is 20 sacred shards worth. So there is one case to be made here, guys. I like going for this stuff, right? Because as I always keep saying, you can't tell the champion's potential by just reading his set of skills, right? First-hand experience is required in order to determine the full potential. So guys, when Blizzard was a fusion, no one gave a thought about him, right? He was thought to be very bad, but I always go for all fusions, and I also try to go for all 5-star souls, and turns out he is doing something that no other champion is capable of. He does stand Devil Stage 25 solo, right? And thing is, if you want that kind of stuff after the fact, nope. I mean, you can't get a 5-star Skorid soul later on, right? You have to get it in these 3 days, or you don't, right? That's why I try to go for that kind of system. So do I, waste resources on that kind of endeavor every once and then? I do, but guys, I have gotten so much out of that Sand Devil solo. First of all, I was incapable of doing stage 25. I mean, and with the addition of the dust, it became very crucial to do stage 25, and thanks to the Blizzard, I was able to do it. So I upgraded from stage 24 into stage 25, and it was a duo with Chronam. Now it's a solo. Duration is pretty good as well. Yeah, that is about that. So the case I'm raising here is, guys, I'm not saying Skorid will have a potential extremely nice build, right? But there is that chance, and this is your window of getting the soul, right? If you pass up on it, there will be no other chance. So another case, this was a pro, right? And a con is Asgard Divide is coming, and we are going to get all those other champions, right? And I mean, chances are that at least one of them, and maybe even multiple, will require shards, right? I mean, imagine they do a card flipping event in which you get points for opening shards, and the card flips give the fragments of the champion, right? And then you would have to skip that. And thing is, those champions will not be a permanent thing, right? We will have a window of about 2 months, I think, to get them, and then they will go away. And guys, discontinuity is more important than this, because guys, even though we will miss the opportunity to get a 5-star Skorid soul if we don't grab this, but it will remain in the game, right? I mean, 15 days later I could open a small stone and could get a 5-star Skorid soul. Those guys will go away. So there is also that to consider this time around, because unless you are sitting on a big pile of energy, this is going to take a lot of shards away. So guys, let's take a look at me, right? I do have 13 sacred shards now, and therefore I will be 7 sacred shards short. And as we said, we need around 3.3k, 3.4k energy per sacred shard. That would mean I need something along the lines of 23k energy to invest in a hard 10 dungeon in the frame of these 3 days, which would not be very pleasant, to put it very, very mildly. So there are 2 options. I mean 3, of course. I could just do that, right? I mean, I could spend my days in a hard 10 dungeon all day and do that, right, whilst opening all of my sacred shards. There's that. Another option is the shop. A monthly pack is pretty good. I could get the monthly pack, go up to 15 sacred shards, and grind 5 sacred shards worth. That is 18,000 energy, right? Check the shop for offers, or I could go against my own sayings and go for some primal shards. I mean, they are really valuable, right? 60% of a sacred shard is pretty valuable. I could open some primal shards. So guys, for this tournament, right, I'm okay with about spending 10,000 or so energy, right? Which would mean 3 sacred shards of worth, right? Approximately. So that leaves me with 17 sacred shards of worth of points, right? and I do have 13. Well, I could also do, I could go the extra mile. I could spend a little about 10,000 energy, 16, 17,000, buy the monthly pack and open all of the sacred shards. So guys, I don't like opening non-sacred shard shards during summon rush or similar events, right? They are unrewarding. But this time around, guys, with the extra 50% value, the primal shards are worth it. And I have said, on stream, you might have heard that I won't open primal shards outside of a 2x, and I don't even like the bad 2x in which we get a double chance on legendaries and epics. I don't like that. I want the real deal. I want the double chance on mythicals, right? I mean, because I can get the colored legendaries and epics from ancient shards and sacred shards, right? The main deal of a primal shard is the mythical, right? I want the 2x on the mythical. So yeah, we will have to see, and of course, your sanity and your gems and your account will be tested. I mean, if you want to spend a lot of energy, yeah, we will have to see. I'm not very sure. I mean, I want to grab the Skorid Soul, guys, but yeah, it could make my life very hard in the upcoming Asgard Divide stuff, right? So for example, guys, we get a guaranteed summer event, or a pseudo guaranteed summer event like a card flipping event or a path event that gives the fragments of the champion. And imagine the main source of points is shards, right? So I will either have to buy tons and tons of shards, or I will have to skip. And I would rather skip Skorid Soul over a discontinued champion, right? So yeah, this time around I am myself undecided, but these are the data. I will commend them to your attention, and so you can make the decision yourself. I mean, I have been quite unlucky with sacred shards this month, right? Today I have gotten, I think, my third sacred shard from the clan boss. So maybe if you have been luckier, right? I mean, you have something like 20 sacred shards, but still, guys, I mean, let's say you open 15 and you go at the rest at with other stuff. The question will remain: will you be able to have shards for the upcoming events? So another option is, I will lay this one final thing on you. I mean, if you have a nice primal pile like I do, so for example, guys, I can complete it with primal shards now. It is 2,700 points per, right? So if I open them, I am going to get something along the lines of 85,000 or something. Let me see. 86,400. And guys, the soul is around 90,000. So I can't just open my primals and get the soul, right? Is an option, but of course, 2 days later they will announce the 2x and I will cry. Yeah. But the 50% extra value is, guys, really valuable, because as I said, if you go at it per dollar value, right? So for example, guys, ancient shards are, let's just go over that. I mean, I am talking too much as usual. So ancient shards are $300, 300 points, and you can very hardly find them at $1 per. They are always a little above $1. So let's say $1.2 per, and they would be 250 points per dollar, right? Void shards are generally $2.50 per for relatively good offers. Let's assume that. So that will be 300 points per dollar, right? Primal shards are about 5, so that's 540 points per dollar, right? Imagine. And sacred shards are about 15 or more, right? The game over price system. But so guys, in our mind, maybe we say $12 or something. But the thing is, go buy sacred shards for $12. Let me see you buy them, right? I mean, save for very special offers, you can't achieve that, right? I mean, that's what I also priced them at. I mean, I would never buy sacreds at $20, unless it's an emergency. But fact remains, that is the price that they are available at. So thing is, guys, as you can see, primal shards give the highest value, and by far, right? I mean, say ancient shards 250, void shards 300, sacred shards around 300, and these guys give you value on the neighborhood of 540 or so, right? I mean, almost double, right? More than 50% worth. So that's why it's worth considering that. But yeah, I mean, when the 2x comes, you will cry. I will cry too. But I am considering it, guys. I mean, it would be so convenient, right? I mean, I'll just pop like 25 or so of these, right? Do the rest with dungeon divers and done. The reason I'm trying to save my sacred shards is a 2x on sacreds is coming next week, right? 7 days later, we will have a 2x on sacreds, right? Unless Plarium interferes with the order of things, right? And I am suspecting that we will have an Asgard Divide special, right? I mean, some special event might override the champion chase. I'm just guessing. I don't know for a fact. But another option is, I think maybe that would be the best option. Several ancient shards, some primal shards, and dungeon divers, right? I mean, you don't have to go hard at one kind of a shard. So that's my take. I will try to go for this, but I'm not very sure. And guys, the one final, I keep saying this, right? But there is one final option. That's this, right? So this is 5 sacred shard points of worth, right? I mean, it is expensive, right? But the thing is, I mean, you don't get the champions and you don't get the legendaries, of course, but you get points worth 5 sacred shards. That is, of course, pretty good. And of course, this offer is better, right? This is 9,750. The price is double, so multiply this by 2. That would be 19,500. So this is, more than 10% more efficient. So that is another option, right? I mean, if you have the money to spare, do like 5 sacred shards, 5 of these, 10 primal shards, and the rest of it in dungeon divers. Well, I think that is one of the best options. Yeah, I don't want to let the soul go, guys. That's what I think. I mean, it is a definite, this time around, it's a solid option, right? Skipping is definitely a solid option, but maybe go for it, right? Because you don't know the potential. I mean, I don't have any plans to use him anywhere, right? So let me tell this. I mean, I'm not gonna say he's an excellent Hydra champion, I want him for Hydra, that's why I want him. Nope, I have zero plans of using it. But a 5-star legendary makes a difference. I mean, if you recall my latest solo builds, I mean, 5-star is almost what's required, right? It makes a real difference, the accuracy, the resistance that you get from the soul. So that's why I'm planning on going for it. So that is my take, guys. I am undecided myself, but I would say most likely I would be grabbing the soul with some combination of things. The last thing I have suggested, I think I could go for it, the $30 points bundle, some sacred shards, and maybe some primal shards, and the rest of it in dungeon divers. Yeah, that sounds good to me. And let me hear what you think about it. Are you gonna go for it? How are you gonna go for it? Are you going to skip it? And I'll see you on the stream and in the comments. Bye bye.